shall we begin? Gentlemen, hello, welcome back. A quick recap for everyone so that we can get back into this. So, last session, you all arrived at the wall, ready to face off against the army of Yara. The night before, you had been to a fancy ball where Yara had appeared and caused a bunch of chaos by resurrecting undead, and Doc was in the plane of pandemonium. But here you all are now reconnected, reunited at the wall. Councilman Ivan was at the wall already and seemed to be being berated by his colleagues and generals, and was being told off for something, though you didn't quite hear what. You all prepared for the fight. Doc cast Forbiddance behind the city gates, and a rousing speech from Ivan got the troops' morale in check. As you prepared, however, you saw the horde of undead approach, a sea of lifeless corpses, all of all shapes and sizes, tireless, fearless, and hungry. They marched towards you, and so the battle commenced. I have asked each of you to assume the command of some positions on the wall, as your characters have been given control of the main city gates in order to try and lure and draw Yara out, in hopefully your success. After a few devastating blows, all of your forces still stand. You took out the large ram they had built to tear down the city gates, but now 2 siege towers armoured with old shields and bones are being pushed towards you by undead ogres and giants. Nightwalkers stride over the land and river towards you, and way in the back, more undead catapults and artillery have arrived. It is here we shall pick things up. So, if you remember, the way we're doing this is we're doing it so they go, then you go, they go, then you go. You guys are, this is round 7 out of 10. So you've basically got 3 more rounds to complete before this section is done, and we basically see how well you did, how many of them made it over the walls, made it to the walls, and further things will be based upon that. But picking things up, I'm going to say that these ogres, or this ogre here, pushes towards the wall and then realizes, there's a big ram in the way. So he moves in front of here. Now, if you remember that last time there was a large gem that the arcane casters could fire at to create a huge explosion. This battering ram, this barricade was in that explosion, and so it took a bunch of damage. So I'm going to say someone roll me a d20 and add 3. That'll basically be a constitution check for the battering, why do I keep saying battering ram? For the barricade.
I'll do it.
18 plus 3, it takes half damage against this. 9, 7, 8, 9, 16, 24 damage, half to 16, that still does it. The wall, having only 10 HP left, is destroyed.
Not the wall.
But this ogre can't move anymore on its turn because it's used its action to break down the thing, and it's used its movement to get there. So the next turn, it will probably get back behind this thing and push the siege tower forward. This ogre here is going to move through the difficult terrain. So that's, 20, 40, dash, 20, 40. That's all he got. This guy, 20, 30, 40, dash, 10, 20, 30, and it's going to go 40. But you watch as it sort of encroaches over this area, area of thick roots and vines and things. It just almost like steps up as if it's stepping up into the air over, almost like upstairs or up a ramp into the air. It seems that, and your characters would know this, it seems that this thing does have capabilities of flight, but in almost a walking way, and almost like it's walking through the air. That's how it's able to cross the river so quickly, because it didn't go into the river, it just walked over it. And that is where it will end its turn here, trying to attack certain things. And this one is going to do the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
We haven't
4.
touched these boys at all, have we?
You have touched both of them, but it seems they are quite hardy creatures. So this one here has the blue one has only taken 12 damage, and this one here has taken 19.
Okay.
Did we get their consent to touch them?
Sadly, you did not, and they're quite mad about that. That's why they're pushing towards you to try and kill you.
Makes sense.
However, you guys did fuck one of these things up, and like you did like 300 damage to one of these things in like 3 rounds of combat in the graveyard, if you remember. So that was fun. Anyway, this guy is just gonna come, what, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. This puny little guy, and these guys are gonna go.
He's the only
60.
one from like, the first wave, isn't he? Because he forgot about him, and so did we.
Yeah. The archers
I'm still
on
here.
top of the archers on top of the siege towers are each going to make a couple of attacks. The pink archer is going to make an attack against these spellcasters way up on high here. So that is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Which one are they hitting?
The rightmost archers. Sorry, not spellcasters. Archers.
Lucky Luke.
What was it? Sorry.
15 to hit.
Oh, 15 is their AC.
15 is their AC. That is unfortunate. Was the D6 from this? What the fuck? All right. And I need another D6. And I need another D6. So 9. It's 15 points of piercing damage to that group there. This red one then is going to take out, or try and take out, these spellcasters right in the middle here. So they're going to be firing off a volley. But that's only a 12 to hit.
Still hits.
Still hits, alright. So that's going to be
Linden all over again.
9 points of piercing damage.
Magic people have like a arcane boosty thing to boost their AC.
That doesn't boost their AC. It
gives them resistance to
all
damage.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So it's
So instead of 9, they take
Get hit,
4.
not as hard.
Indeed.
I remember now.
Now, all of these things way at the back here are just going to use their actions. 5, 10, 30. They're all just going to move up there. They're just going to dash way up forwards and try and get a little bit more within range so that they're not at disadvantage. And that is them. Now, it is you guys' turn. All of you as a collective. What would you all like to do? Couldn't.
JJ, do you want to go first and see where we're at? If you maybe take out, I'm assuming you're going to attack one of these things.
Yeah.
See if you maybe can floor it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to move slightly over towards this one because I want to be a bit closer to this encroaching tower. And then I will make 2 slam attacks against...
Okie dokie, this huge Elder Treant from the Feywild, one of the aides of the Feywild, just comes over, massive arms like branches, and yes, a 17 does hit, and 17 bludgeoning damage is a pretty good score. And this tree is magical, and therefore deals magical damage. Nice, just basically like a huge just overthrow, and yeah, that hits as well. Jesus Christ alive. Nice, just these 2 basically like haymakers, like one to the face and then another just arc with this massive tree to the gut, and this creature, this Nightwalker creature, like takes these blows but almost then returns very ominously back to this straightened poise, and just like quickly darts its head looking over at this huge treant. What's everyone else doing?
How's that one looking?
That one, it's still looking all right. It's looking maybe a little bit haggard, but it's
Do we want to
not too much of a noticeable change.
one side first? Because I'm extra damaged. The tree's extra damage to structures, so if I can get up to these encroaching siege towers, I can do a lot of damage to them, but can't really get to them until these things are dealt with.
Okay. I'm happy to pepper red with both my arcane bursts.
I'm happy to aim for the tower on the bridge.
I think both of you need to not aim for these things because I think they take less damage from non-magical weapons.
They do indeed, yes.
And my damage is my damage is more damaging on the towers, so I might try to go for those.
You go for the tower then.
All right.
Are you gonna
Did you lose one of your bits of equipment, or is it still? It's like on its last legs, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
Yes, basically. I don't have any trebuchet left.
Okay.
On the one on the left, and it's on 1 HP.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, one on the left, 1 HP, and one on the right.
And a dream.
Yeah, it's got a dream. So I think the one on the left is about to dream of hitting the guy on the bridge.
Alrighty, roll to hit. Oh, an 18 does actually. Are you hitting the siege tower or the skeletons on top of it? Siege tower. All right. So actually, roll me another 3d10. As you do double damage to structure.
I'll take that.
All right. So that's
could have been worse.
Oh, this tower here now is like this thing crashes through this through the center of it and does manage to like pincer one of the back wheels, and one of the back wheels is basically like falling off, and you can see it slightly now like leaning towards the ogres and things on the right, who are now having to like, one of them is basically now having to be like dedicated to just stopping it from leaning. It is looking rough, very, very rough. Very, very rough indeed.
You had the blister shot, Matt.
Yeah, well, the other one's going to take a shot at exactly the same thing.
Exact same thing. I'd say from this angle, that's going to have quite a bit of cover, because you're going to be basically shooting through.
I didn't see. Yeah, I'll aim for the one in front, actually, the one closest to me then.
One, yep, that's fine. That one's easy enough to hit. Roll for it. Oh, 25. Roll me another 3d10.
Oh, certainly, sir.
Oh, there we go. Right, well, yeah, this one, another bolt just straight through the middle, and you can see basically as this bolt smashes through the middle, it flies out. It doesn't fly out the other side, but it creates a hole on the other side, and you can tell now there are skeletons and undead within the siege tower itself, not just on the top, but also chittering within. But this thing, you can just hear this loud crunch as it blisters not just through the siege tower, but through the undead within itself. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty gnarly. But yeah, fucking good hit. Who is next? Who's left?
I'll go next because I'll be super quick. So I'm just gonna pump both arcane bursts into this red guy.
Okie dokie. Believe it needs to make a saving throw.
Yeah, dex save.
Dex save.
Very good, 8d6.
19 for red for the first dex save, but only a 13 for the second one. So I believe that's half damage for the first one.
I was just thinking, I think I can get the tower as well, because it's a 20-foot radius and each of these squares is 10, isn't it?
Yeah, but that would be 20-foot radius. No, you could get the tower itself actually. Yeah, so I'll roll really quickly just for the tower. The tower gets 10, so that's a fail as well. So roll that 22 points of force damage, so it takes half from that one.
So that's and then the second shot will come in and do the same thing, tower and the guy. 42.
Tower and the guy.
Oh my god, that is an amazing roll.
That is insane. 6, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 5, 6. From 8d6, that's the biggest I've ever seen.
That one,
and that's
6 off max damage.
And I'll tell you fucking what, that surprisingly actually kills that creature because it failed its second save. However, the siege tower is miraculously still up. This huge explosion now, each of the you can say like it's the ones in front, and it's basically just like a bunch of people just like upcasting to the max. Just a bunch of these like wizards and things just holding out staffs, and it's this ray that bursts over this thing, and there's just this as it's overwhelmed, collapses back, and as it sort of hits the ground, it's just this like black necrotic dust that sort of like splatters over the area and then disappears.
They'll bonus action arcane shield each other, and then this blue guy. Does he look like he could, like if he walked forward, would he be able to just reach us on there?
Yeah. These creatures are like about 40 feet tall, so they can literally just reach over and with their entire arm's width hit anything over the wall.
Okay. One mage is going to come there, and then the other one will come here. just away from the wall.
Okie dokie. Yep, sounds good. And finally, I believe we have the archers. What are the archers getting up to?
I guess the siege tower. I'm gonna fire at them.
Firing at the siege tower or the archers on top?
Archers on it.
Archers on it, right, okay.
With the arrow a cloud.
Alrighty. So they need to make a dex save. That's a 4, so they fail. So roll them damage. Basically, just click roll to hit and it'll roll the damage for you.
Can I do that?
Yeah, because it's yeah. So that's 16, which they fail. So that's that amount. They are still alive, though. Just there's now not a lot of them left, as all these undead are just peppered with a volley of arrows.
And then I guess same again for the one in the middle. So the first one was the guys on the right.
Yeah, I'd say. Are you doing another arrow cloud again, or?
Yeah.
Alrighty, then even with half damage, these guys are gone, as the arrow cloud decimates the last of them and ends up killing them.
And then I'm just going to hit orange with the last archers. Arrow cloud again. Just why not? Damn well.
Ooh, a 19 for that guy. So he'll be taking half damage. 21, so he takes 10.
So a lot of good damage rolls so far, actually.
Yeah, actually pretty good. Is that everything? Any last little bits from anyone, or are we moving to the next group?
That's everything.
Alrighty, so we are going to start with the same order that we started the previous one. So with no archers on the top anymore, still some inside the siege tower, this creature here is going to basically push these guys into, 10, 20, but then the thing gets stuck, or rather it doesn't get stuck because it's not a creature, so it can't be restrained, but it still counts difficult terrain for the siege tower. And then this thing is going to push it, and he needs to make a strength save or be restrained. That's an 18. Fuck, that's a pretty good roll.
That passes.
That passes, so it's just difficult terrain for him. So he does, all in all, with his movement, manage to push the siege tower up to here. And you can see now with this thing right up close, undead begin sort of climbing ladders within and scuttling over and basically just forming and attacking, like running over the walls. And it's at this point you can see that most of the undead, they're not actually stopping to fight any of these in any of your troops. They're actually trying to get just over the walls, not even trying to kill people. They're just trying to run over the walls and basically cause chaos within the city. But when they jump over the walls, all of a sudden, just many of them just start burning. And there's like breathless cries and screeches and screams from these cackles and shambles of undead, as Doc Forbiddance ends up dealing 4d10 damage and killing a lot of skeletons and a lot of zombies that come by. But I will say that now there are... Where the fuck are they? Where's the fucking...
all that effort into getting over the wall just to fall into some hot soup.
Basically, yeah. It was some fucking good preparation, and I hate the spell Forbiddance. But I will say that...
time to set up in the spell Forbiddance is delightful against undead.
I will say that there are two... No, that's not what you want to see.
The thing is, you can
there are
to as many of these as you want. Celestials, Elementals, Fae, Fiends, and Undead. So... it's kind of
10:30.
Really.
Yeah. And I'm going to say these undead sort of are produced from the siege tower, climb out, get there, and these are the only ones that are basically left to fend off against anything. And I'll say that was basically like their action to basically dash up the thing, because these are the last people within the siege tower. This ogre that's his turn. He's done. This guy is, despite the fact the siege tower is going to come down, is going. No, he's no. Actually, as a matter of fact, he's going to. He's dumb as fuck. It's an ogre, so they're going to come back behind here and start pushing this thing. He's going to dash, so we can only push it there. This thing is going to see that things are running, but if it moves here, it can attack both the archers and the tree. So let's see it attack the archers and the tree. That is a 27 against the archers. So let's look at how much damage they do. They do multiples of these.
Like you took a bit of a peppering last time, Luke. Like your guys took a bit of a peppering last time.
They did.
So let's see how much damage they take now. So that's 8, 11. 16 points of necrotic damage. These archers take here, and then the archers on the left. And I've just remembered that actually this is all within 10 feet thing, so this one would have to move over there to then be able to attack the treant, as it seems to want to basically clear out this thing for the next wave. It almost seems as it's attacking things, and that is a 24 to hit the treant. So we're going to get some damage numbers here and see if that was any better than the pitiful excuse for the last one. 11, 13, 18, 21
What sort of damage
points
is that?
of necrotic. Necrotic.
All necrotic.
Yes.
Okay. 21.
To this treant here. And that's basically going to be... That's going to be them. 1, 2, 3... And then they're going to use their action to just fly up in the air. This guy's going to run up to the wall and just start trying to climb the wall. The orange guy. But with a 6, it's not going to get very far. The skeletal archers up here are going to fire at the middle archers there, because they're the ones who attack them. So I'm going to say, yeah. It's a 12 to hit them.
Doesn't hit.
Does not hit. And finally, all these archers here, I'm just going to roll to hit 4 times. The first time against the archers on the left, 14.
Doesn't hit.
Second time, archers on the left, 6, doesn't hit. Ballista. Sorry, that would have been against the ballista on the left, but that doesn't hit regardless. Archers on the right doesn't hit. Ballista on the right. It's an 18 to hit the ballista.
Yeah, it hits.
Cool. So that is 9, 11 points of piercing damage to the ballista on the right here. From the archers way in the back, and then these catapults are just going to move up just that little bit more and take some.
I've got my screen cut to just see the wall on the end of the bridge. I was like, who the fuck is Ben talking about? Oh yeah, everyone else.
So we're going to go ballista on the left and ballista on the right with these 2 catapults that just fling what sort of just looks like flesh. Like big balls of flesh and bones just piled up and pushed together to basically create just like a big ball that they can fling. So that's a 19 to hit the one on the left.
He's dead.
He's dead. No amount of thing would save him. So that as this ballista gets smashed with this thing, it just clatters into a bunch of pieces. The string, that sort of activates the crossbow, and the string sort of pulls forward, snaps the arch. Everything goes terribly. And on the right, that's 16.
That hits.
That hits. Oh, lordy. Go. 11, 14 points of damage to the one on the right.
Ooh, okay.
Round 8 is done. We move on to round 9 of this misadventure. So, no, round 8. Your turn for round 8. So, what you got? What you got in the
Are you hitting
the holster?
That geezer, JJ?
Yeah, I can do. I prefer to go to the tower if these could be cleared off, but I can hit them if necessary.
Is the tower empty?
The tower is basically now empty. It's now just a big structure.
I can reach the other one though. So if I could get away from it.
Oh, you can. Oh, right, yeah.
The other one
I was curious about that one anyway, but yeah, if that's not a bad idea.
I deal double damage to structures, like Matt. So I'll clear this off the wall if they're still there. But if you guys want to go first, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sort of the same. I'll do the opposite to what you're doing, JJ. So if you attack one of them, I'll attack the other.
Well, Ben was saying the tower closest to you is basically empty.
So are we just not going to bother with that then at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you miss that one from there, Matt, you're fired.
Just like lift the thing
or
up
go
a bit.
for one of the catapults if you can, Matt, because you've got long range.
Would you prefer me to go for one of the catapults then?
Yeah, because you can potentially take them out.
All right. Shall I roll to try and hit this one on the right?
Before you hit the. I could go first. Hit the Night Walker. Try and free up JJ. JJ can go do the tower, and we'll see where we're at after that. Yeah, we can see where we're at.
Okay.
All right. So Nightwalker needs to make a dex save or 2.
Yeah, and the ghosts aren't in the range actually, are they?
Yeah, because you've got 20 foot radius, haven't you?
Yeah.
It depends how high up they
flew. They flew only like 30 feet up, so they're still in the radius.
Bit the ghosts as well.
Bit the ghost as well. So Nightwalker, 13.
That's a fail.
Ghosts. Sure. Oh, that rolled off a 20. 14 and 13. I rolled
both
13s
are a fail, and a 14's pass.
And the 14's a pass. All right, so pink passes. The rest fail. So roll me up an arcane blast. You already have. I'm blind. Him. This purple one is depleted, and pink had already taken some damage apparently, and so is also depleted.
Okay, and then the second one will bang in. That's 23.
There's the natural 20 I've been praying for this guy. So that's half damage from that one. I'm clicking the bad things. It's 50 something. There. Cool. So Nightwalker still up, still fairly healthy. These two huge blasts. The first one sort of blasts in the radius, but the second one gets right in the chest, and it readies both hands to just like prepare to slam down in rage against basically everything, against the machine.
Okay, that's me. And then bonus. Cover each other.
Luke,
Bonus cover each other. Nice.
Me.
Yeah. What are you going to go for?
I will say your archers can also make melee attacks, so they can count as military, so they can make melee attacks against infantry units.
Yeah, so these ones probably going to try and deal with them, but the other two, I was thinking of the archers on the thing back here.
All right. To make a melee attack, they just need to roll the same. It's the same stats for the bow, so just roll up a straight bow attack. They can't do the rain fire or whatever it's called. However, 11 doesn't hit, sadly. Either of these creatures, they try and... It's like a small group of archers, and they try and push towards one of them. But these skeletons have made a sort of shield wall as they've approached, and therefore they don't make quite as much impact. So that is said.
Next two archers are going to go for that thing back there.
Are they hitting the archers or the...
The archers, yeah.
The archers. Right, okay, cool. 12 doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Wipe that shit out of your eyes.
Pardon?
Arrow cloud on the next one.
Oh, right, it was an arrow cloud on the next one. All right, so they can make another natural 20 on their fucking saves.
Use them now.
So that's half damage, and then same archers again need to make the save. Because so you've got. Do the same archers need to make the save again?
Yeah. Sorry.
So 2 arrow clouds, and that's 15 plus 2. That's 17. That's half damage again.
Pass.
4, 11. So. Cool. Not bad. Some fucking good rolls on their behalf. Who's up next?
Shall I go for this Nightwalker then, and then potentially free up Matt to go for the approaching tower?
Yeah, tower's still maybe a turn away, isn't it? From at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will try and slam the Nightwalker once. 25.
25 does it. Yep.
How do I roll? There we go.
I should do damage automatically. I don't know why it's not. 14 damage. Nice.
And if it's still standing, I'll do it again. That's probably not going to hit.
But a 12 doesn't hit. So as this treant sort of comes up, this thing is just been blasted in the chest. It roars up, and the treant basically just like grabs its head and pushes its head down into the wall. This thing just... And with the next attack that comes for its head, it just sort of ducks out of the way. And it's just like watching these two titans, one of nature and one of death. Like two massive, basically like... will ever see in their lives. This is insane. But there we go. It's still alive, sadly. It is a hardy creature. Who have we got left? I believe we just got the blister and the archers left.
So, as you haven't done it, shall I go for this tower, as it's technically the closest thing?
It's the best use of your skill set.
Gonna have a little... siege tower is...
I think I can...
it'll have cover, but...
Can I aim over that?
Technically no, because that is the same height as the walls. As Yara was once queen of this place, she knows how high the walls are, and therefore knew to build them that high.
Damn it, they've built on top of them since I was last here.
I think I'll still aim for that, because that is the more pressing threat.
All right. I'll have a bit of cover, but yeah, go for it. Yeah, 26. It's more of an angle of trying to get it, sort of around, but your thing manages to hit that back wheel, basically, that wheel that you'd already damaged somewhat. And I'm going to say this thing only had 3 HP left. The siege tower. Fuck it, do it anyway. And it's basically a thing of it smashes into this back wheel. The back wheel topples down. All the wood and all the weight of the undead inside then topple back into this area, and you can all hear, even from way back here, the loud sort of waning of wood and the crunch and snap of 100 like wooden planks and boards, as suddenly then the backside just falls and topples. And I'm going to say with that, he's dead, and he's dead, and I don't know where he came from. He wasn't there, as that archery unit was very low anyway, and a fall of about 30 to 40 feet would probably kill it. This ogre's now just stood there in the rubble like very, very angry that you've destroyed his mobile cover, basically. Anyone else? Anyone left.
Oh, you've only got one ballista now, haven't you?
We're all done.
Yeah, that's it.
Boo. Yeah, we're good.
Cool. Coolio. Right, Nightwalker is going to be up first, and he's not happy. He's going to take one swing at the treant and another swing at... I'm going to say the archers in front of him, just to try and split things up. He is trying to clear the wall away. So, first one against the treant, that is a 17.
Yeah.
Oh, can I use my hex? What's your AC?
Arcane Hex.
Less than 17.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it close?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm gonna use my arcane hex. The one on the left will use it.
All right, roll a d4.
Oh, please be good. Take a 3 away from that.
It misses.
So, 14. Now it misses. There we are. So as this creature goes to swing around towards this thing, a dozen or so wizards just sort of trace a sigil in the air, and the sigil almost creates a sort of strange thing in the vision of this Nightwalker, and it just sort of like, instead of then sweeping towards this creature, it now instead goes for this this strange vision that it can see, dodging it out the elk treant is now able to dodge out the way, and it's just like, and it's now gonna take its swing around.
Just like curls in on itself and just forms a little thumbs up.
I love it.
That's fucking gnarly, dude.
Oh, now would it now that it's missed the treant, would it try and go for the treant again or go for the archers? I think it would try and go for the pissed off. It would go for the treant again, I think. It's a slightly more intelligent creature, and this thing is the main bother to it up front. So that is a 17 again.
The other mages would like to use their arcane hex.
Alrighty, roll a d4.
Take that 2 away. Does that help?
2, 15.
Misses.
Oi!
Misses again. So this thing just keeps seeing these like sigils in front of its face, and so the first time second time it then goes to strike again, but it's almost like the tree branches wane and stuff away, and it's almost like it's like it's trying to like move away a cloud that only it can really see, but sort of like outlining its eyes this strange multicolored sort of thing, as it's basically been hexed to miss. Good fucking job. Can't believe I rolled 2 17s. What is the AC of the treant again? 16. Oh, so it literally can roll above a 2. Yeah, that's what you needed. Wow.
Yeah, so 3 or 4 was good.
Nice. This ogre is... I really hate this, but ogres are dumb as fuck. So it's going to try and come in and flank and fall on the pit trap. So someone roll me 4d6.
I'll do it.
Anyone. Only if it's good, JJ.
It's not great.
I can try and make a save to half it. There's the 1 that I've also been waiting for this entire fucking time. So, what we've got? 11. So this like shamble of ogres is now like desperately just pulling themselves from the vines and stuff, and they're just like yanking and pulling, and finally they make it on. And it's like the first ogre steps on the area with the spike trap, and it doesn't quite go off. There needs to be a certain amount of weight over it, and it's fine. But then the rest of them almost like yank themselves free of all the vines and clatter to the ground, like just being all bumbly and fumbly as they are. And this just breaks it all inside. And the first one's like falling into the spike trap. They're going to have to use some of their movement to be able to get out of that. This one's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. The left spike trap was activated, so it knows to skirt around it. So that's 40 feet. Oh, it would have to dash to get closer to you. So I'm going to leave it there. This guy is going to make another check. That is such a middling roll. 10. It's got +2. So I'll say with its full movement and a dash, this guy bravely makes it to the top of the tower. These two are going to attack this archer, of course. Natural 20 and an 8. Fantastic. Enough damage for the two of them. So that set of archers takes 12. Well, that's a shit roll. 12. 21 points of piercing damage.
Yikes.
And then all these things in the rear are going to fire off. So these guys are just going to come up with the water because I just think that would be a bit nicer than if they did that. Let's start with the catapults first. Why not? Start with catapults first. Catapult on the right, going for the ballista on the left. It's a 12 to hit. Don't think that hits. Catapult on the right is going for the archers on the right. Why not? But that's a 9 to hit, so fuck you. Skeletons, green, archers on the right, orange is... Oh god, it can't really go for much, so it's going to go for... They're both going to go for... So I'll say... Fuck's sake. 4 plus stuff, that misses. And the ballista on the right... That's 16 against the ballista.
Oh, just hits.
Just hits. Right. So that is 12 damage against that ballista on the right.
Oh, it's close.
Ooh. And then the ones on the left. Fuck, what are they going to do? I guess archers on the left and archers in the middle, but with them archers have half cover, I guess. So
any of your units alive, Luke?
Archers on the left, that's 18 plus stuff, that hits. So that's
Train them well. They're full of hardy folk.
11 piercing damage to these guys.
They're dead.
Those hardy folk are dead.
As this final peppering of arrows flies down, sadly these archers are killed, and the last of their sort of body just falls off that fortification and lands down on the battlements below. And the last one's, archers on the right, but with half cover. Nope, that's a 3 plus things. That doesn't hit at all. And that's them. So, 9th round, what are you guys going to do?
You want 3 and up, Jojo, or are you going to take on the Nightwalker?
I'm just gonna start swinging. I'll go for the Nightwalker first because there's so much around me. I might as well swing. First attack.
Yeah, go for it.
11. Second attack.
11 misses, but a 22 hits.
17 bludgeoning damage.
17 bludgeoning damage. That's, it's still alive.
Okay. Well, that's all I can do is swing at it and hope for the best.
This group of mages going to come up and fire an arcane burst at the Nightwalker.
Alrighty.
Is it working over the ogres instead, Sam? Because they're bunched up.
One's in a pit, though, innit? I was going to go for the ogres with the other one.
Okay, fair enough.
The other mage, but I was going to pop
if
on with
if
this.
you can't get it, then that'd be good.
Nightwalker's got a 19 on its deck save. It's a bloody good deck save. Which... Still alive. This burst gets her through, and it now like wails out. And as this arcane burst basically punches a hole straight through its chest, but it almost begins to slightly cloud over, like it's almost trying to, like the necrotic energy is almost trying to heal itself. But you can basically now see through this hole in its chest, but it's still somehow alive and like waving and wavering. It's quite sort of like straight, tall, poised now, a little bit more of a slouch.
The second one's going to be at the 2 ogres.
2 ogres, so I've got 2 deck saves. Nat 20 for the green, but I'll give red disadvantage because he's in a pit in spikes. 14, 6 for him. So that's 29 points of force damage. They haven't been hit nearly as much as I thought they were. So
They were
that's
behind a tower most of the time, so.
they were, yeah, that's true. And you've barely been touched, and you took half damage. So that's 14. So that's like D&D. It's basically just like reminding myself of maths.
Arcane shield each other, and that's me.
Cool. Who's up next? We've got the archers or the remaining ballista.
I might as well aim for the catapults when I can
Go for it.
before I disintegrate, because I think I've got one shot left.
Go for it.
You've only got one shot, so make it count.
19 does hit. And I'll say that 18, because that's 3d10, I'll use that as your extra damage against structures. So 22 plus 18, God, that kills it in one. This one, like, amazing bolt just flies through, and like the main sort of arm of the catapult, it just crashes through it, collapsing it on a couple of like skeletons who are like loading the next thing. But that's, yeah, basically it gone. We have the archers still left.
Okay, central archers. I'm going to shoot up at orange up here. Arrow.
All right, yep, trying to defend the walls. Is that arrow cloud? So that one. So the full 19, and finally, after such a heroic charge through the fields,
You will be remembered.
he dies.
Witness me.
Orange Squad Delta sadly was killed. The trumpets play. Second archers, are they making attacks against
Can they
these skeletons?
disengage?
They can disengage, yeah. They can disengage, dash, do anything else they would like to. And they have a movement speed of 30 feet, so they can like move 3 squares or whatever.
Cool, disengage and move down there. Or as far away as I can get.
How are they getting down there? Because you were here to disengage, and then the movement is 10, 20, then 30 to get down there. Because they need to get down the ladder. Because there is.
They're in that much danger, they just yeet themselves off the tower.
I mean, if that's what you want to say they do,
It's a kind of fate.
they can
How
roll. They can
How
roll
big is it?
It's about 15 feet.
Oh, easy money. Easy money.
Just a load of like, imagine that, just like a squad of like 20 or so archers, just like fuck it, run, leaping off the thing. I mean, if you want to say they do that, they can of course do that.
No, that's fine.
No, all right. Cool. Anything else from anyone else, or do we move into the last round? The final round. To basically see what the Guardians have to deal with and what repercussions there might be beyond. So,
let's get rid of Nightwalker then.
Yeah,
Nightwalker.
He was a dick last time.
Well, like Ben said, I think he was supposed to be hard, but we just smited him in 2
yeah,
turns.
you guys
basically.
just smited him into fucking oblivion.
Yeah, but he was like taking like 20 something off our max HP a time.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather not
and
have
he
that
does
if we were
have
to fight
like
Yara.
for the purposes of this, I've taken away a lot of his abilities, but he did also have like an aura that dealt damage and a bunch of different stuff. I've just made things simple and said that he is a token that attacks, because that stuff's just very complicated to do for like groups of people, whatever. So Nightwalker, being really pissed off at the big tree, is going to attack the big tree. So that's an 18 to hit the big tree.
Yeah, that hits the tree.
I'm going to use my okay. The last turn, I might as well. Fuck it.
I could see
was doing the
your
maths.
face.
There's a 50-50 chance. It works.
Oh,
This geezer is pissed.
and a 27.
No, you can have that one.
All right, now let's see how much damage he does with that. So, that's...
Pardon?
How are you looking? I don't feel like you've been smashed.
I've been hit
loads.
once.
Yeah.
And I'm a big second.
That's really good because on 4d8 plus stuff, it rolled 2 8s, a 7, and a 5. So that's, 16, 23, 28 plus its ability modifier, which is 4, so 32.
32, okay.
Points of necrotic damage.
Cool.
That's a really good damage roll. But that is the Nightwalker. It is obviously for these things it's not the last round, it's just the first wave, so that's that.
I mean,
ogres.
The 3 hits you saved me, Sam. Like, without those I'd probably be on death's door.
There you go.
So this
Noise around
ogre's
your
gonna
mage.
this ogre's gonna move like over here because it's gonna walk around, look down at the ogres, and they'll be like, just like be like calling for them to get up. This guy's gonna get up there, and because it's sort of they fucked themselves with the placement of the siege tower, they're going to just try and whack against the big tree that's been bothering them. So 2 attacks to hit. That's an 18.
Yeah.
And a 22.
Can I use my final?
Yeah, sure.
18?
Final arcane hex on the 18.
The 4, please. Oh dear.
Had to let you down one
17.
I'll take a 75% hit rate. That's decent.
Yeah.
That's not bad, actually. It's not bad. Cool. So we've got then you take 14, 16, 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Sweet, I halve that.
Ben took it very personally that you said you hadn't been hit yet.
And oh god, that's actually quite a good roll. That's 23 plus stuff. That's 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
Halved to 13.
Yeah, you've done well so far. It has to be said, you've not been hit as much. These guys, this one just sort of starts. Actually, you know what? They are undead. They don't give a fuck, so they jump off the edge. I'll roll it a dex save. It gets an 18, so manages to go here. And this one is also going to 1, 2, 3, just jump off the edge. It also rolls an 18. All right, so red is going to attack the archers. Blue is going to attack the people behind them, the spellcasters behind them. So attack the archers. That's a 21, 19 on the dice, which I would like to assume hits.
You're looking at that, you're taking this very
Dude,
personally.
Luke's that's 14 damage to the archers on the right. Is that them gone? No! One troop left. Last troop, Daviak's one.
They're gone.
He's holding fast. And against the ones on the right, that is a... what's 17 plus 3? 20. Thank you. 20
You're
to hit
welcome.
the archer. To hit the spellcasters behind him. 20 damage. So that is 11 points of damage to these guys here.
Sorry, I completely zoned out there. So was that with the resistance or?
No, that's not with the resistance. So actually, only 5 damage as this group of skeletons runs into a
What was
bunch
the
of.
attack roll? I'm assuming it was over 11.
Yes, it was an unnatural 20.
Oh, there we go.
There we go, indeed. Now there's still a bunch to get through up the top, so I'm going to say the 2 skeletons on the right are going to go for the big tree. The ones on the left are going to go for... you know what? Actually, no. I'm going to say the 2 at the back are going to go for the big tree. The 2 at the front are going to go for... One's going to go for the spellcasters. One's going to go for the archer in the middle. So, against the tree, that is a 9 to hit. So, no. For the first attack. And a 16 to hit for the second attack.
That hits the tree.
That does in fact hit a tree.
But everyone knows you can't damage a tree with wood.
It just
But that
makes
is
me
an
stronger.
optional damage
Wood.
roll.
Yeah.
Now I have
So
a
you
spiky
take
fist to punch with.
You take a mighty 6 damage.
Cool. After 3.
Half to 3, indeed. Then against the upfront archers, the last unit of archers, that is a 17. And they take... That's a much better roll on the dice. They take 15 points of piercing damage.
That's fine.
Oh, they haven't actually been hit yet, I don't think. Against the spellcasters on the right, they can't actually hit spellcasters on the right. In fact, the only thing they can hit is the tree. So I guess they'll go for the tree again.
Do I get any? Which one's shooting at me?
Orange, right like
okay.
that.
Do I get any cover from the ogres? Probably not.
I'd probably say not. That's a fairly clear line of sight. And that is a 16.
That will hit me.
So that is your AC, and that's 7, half to 3.
Cool.
But now it is up to you guys. What last little bits can your soldiers do, somewhat cowering in this corner, to ensure that this first wave doesn't, well, to take out the remnants of this first wave? It seems these archers and things are stopping beyond the river. That they are just holding fort back there basically. But yes, we'll see what we can do
what are you
here.
going to aim for?
Well, I was generally debating aiming for an ogre.
Yeah.
And I can pull. I can overdraw to add in DC 10 because we're not going to have another round. The disadvantage of that is I miss a round next time if the string breaks.
Yeah.
So I might as well go for that.
Okay.
All right, I'll say the ogre's got
Well, it's either that or I go for the last catapult.
Yeah, the only thing with the ogres is so everything on the other side of the river is out of my range.
The ogre's also got cover from the catapult, from the tower in front of you, I think.
Yeah. So it would be like 3/4 cover, but you could technically like try and like hit at the heads. If you got a really good shot, you could basically get like an insane headshot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go for the catapult if I was you.
All right, then I'm also. Should I overdraw? So I've got. If I overdraw, I'm risking not having a shot at all.
Yeah, I mean,
But
last
then
time
if
you
you hit,
demolished it in
that's
one
9d10.
I know I did. I did demolish it in one.
I don't
But that
think
was
you
because it was very good.
necessarily need to overdraw.
All right, I won't overdraw. Let's just attack normally.
Alrighty. 17 does hit. Roll another 3d10.
Oof.
36.
It's not quite enough. You needed 40.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Okay, so you needed two
That's
big
vicious.
rolls.
You needed
Make me
2
sad.
pretty decent rolls to get that, but
That's still
Go
a lot
for
of
it.
damage to it, though.
that is still a lot of damage to a catapult.
alright. JJ, you go next because then Luke and I can just try and mop up whatever you don't
Yeah,
finish.
okay. I'll start on the Nightwalker again. First attack, 21.
21 hits. Roll the damage.
11 damage. Oh, that's not as good. That's really wank, actually. 2-1-2 plus 6.
How do you see the Elder Trient
Oh, it's still enough.
of the Glade Wood in the Feywild defeating the final Nightwalker?
Just like one of the branches just goes like up through the midriff and like out the top of the head and then just like impales it like into the wall.
Yeah, like onto one of the battlements of the wall, and then as it's like impaled on one of the battlements of the wall, some like remnant soldiers just run in with like swords and stuff and start just hacking away at what's left of the head, and slowly the thing just almost like dissolves then into this like black fog which droops down the front of the wall and dissipates.
Okay.
Done.
And then I guess just another slam on these green guys. Why not? 21 again.
21 hits.
That's a much better roll. 20 damage.
That is a much, much better roll with that. Not quite dead yet. Not quite dead yet. Cool. Who is up next?
The Nightwalker's dead, isn't he?
Nightwalker. Oh, yep. Nightwalker is now Gonzo.
Okay, I'll place an arcane burst between the two ogres.
Alrighty.
26.
That is a 1 and a 2. Yes, that's 26 force damage to each. 1, which doesn't quite get them. Doesn't quite get them anyway. But they are, as this burst of light and just the elements exudes just from the both of them, like from what is a basically group of like 4 or so like undead ogres and stuff, now is reduced to like 1 in each group, just sort of shambling there, like.
Each group is gonna get pummeled again. 30, bam, dead.
The dice wanted these things fucking dead with a 1 and a 3. So that's a 1 and a 2, and then a 1 and a 3.
Use that one that rolled a 1 when next time in combat, please.
The dice have spoken. Yeah, and with that 30 damage, both the ogres get destroyed as well.
Excellent.
Damn.
Good fucking job, lads.
So Luke, take us home.
Arcane shield each other.
What's left?
These two people
the
behind
ones
me.
on the walls and everything else out across the river.
Oh, did I forget to make attacks for them in the last
No,
round?
they killed my archers.
No, yeah, they killed your archers, didn't they? All right, yeah. Cool.
And started stabbing up Sam as well.
Okay, I guess
Cutting me
I'll
up.
try and clear up these guys on the wall.
I will say that your archers can't make an arrow cloud from here
Boo!
because that is only 20 feet away. An arrow cloud is basically where they fire all the way up and over an enemy.
I'll
Right,
go for the sharpshooter then.
Do you know anything about angles? Ben, we did a video on archery angles back in university, so you should know that that's perfectly possible.
Oh, they're going sharp. Yeah, all right, they can go sharpshooter.
Actually, no, there's no point. There's no point.
There could be point to kill them. It adds 10, so they take a -5 penalty to the attack roll, but they gain a +10 to damage rolls.
Go on then. Oh,
But a 10 doesn't quite do it, I'm afraid. No.
Ben sold you a dream there, and you ate it up like cake. Now look at you.
I did. Any more for any more? Any last bits here?
No.
All right then. Then
I didn't realise our force got decimated really a little bit.
yes, in 4 rounds your force did get a little bit decimated, but that is the 10th round completed. In the aftermath of this first wave, the soldiers' morale is low, quite low, as pretty much nearly all the archers have been defeated. But I will say that these troops of skeletons are just like skeletal warriors. They have an AC of 16 and like 20 odd hit points each. I'm not going to bother having your characters go through and killing these things because I know it'll be a very, very simple process that you don't need to use resources on. So I will, however, say if you could knock off just like 2 hit dice from each of your characters just to represent the couple of rounds of combat it would take to go through and kill a bunch of skeletons. I was more concerned that a Deathwalker would still be alive, or a group of ogres or something that was in front of the wall. But generally,
It's on our Griffin.
on your characters, just knock off 2 hit dice, just to represent like the strain and energy it would take to take out, like say 3 rounds of combat, taking out some basic ass
Are we dropping those
skeletons
hit points, or are we
and
just knocking
zombies.
off the hit dice?
Just knock off the hit dice. You all have like plus 20 AC anyway, and they have a plus 4 to hit. So I could definitely see a situation when none of you take really any more than 5 damage. So yeah, I'm not going to make you guys go through that slog. It's fine.
Oh, so we just have less hit dice.
Yeah, you just have less hit dice,
Sorry,
which might come into play later.
Roll them and knock it off the HP, but
oh no!
Because I was going to cry.
No, it's fine. Just knock them off your character so you don't have to roll them or whatever. So in the aftermath of this battle, though the troop morale is low, it does raise a little bit when the sort of everyone here realizes that the undead around them are spent and they've held off the masses of attack. And when soldiers start saying, we fucking killed that big shadow thing, and soldiers are now, proclaiming that they've killed ogres and they've killed night walkers and and trolls and giants and all sorts of stuff. Troops come and collect the dead from the walls, and a sort of reinforcement battery is sent. You are still, however, being peppered by all these sort of archers who now have much less targets. So can everyone just make me a quick dexterity saving throw? As we'll say, this is like a volley of arrows from each of the things. I will say you will gain the bonuses of like Paladin bonuses as well. So that 12 is 16, the 7 is an 11, 20 is a 24, but 11 is 15. So anyone...
That's already got my Paladin bonus in it, that's 7. I mean, not that it makes a difference, because 11 is probably still a fail, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, 11 is still a fail. So anyone who got less than a 16, you will sadly take a little bit of damage from just having lots of arrows peppered into you. So that's 10, 13. So that's 21 points of piercing damage as just a rain of arrows fires down. Maybe you don't quite get your shield up in time. Maybe you don't quite get into the correct part of cover, or maybe it's actually a catapult ball that slams into the side of the wall and you're just a little bit too close to the wall and it knocks you off your feet off the floor. But it does, but that sort of subsides, and you watch as you're starting to think like, we need to reform up the archers, we need to reform up everyone to take care of this force. You suddenly see a strange sort of pattern in the sea of undead, and you realize they're not undead. And you can see the glinting armor off the sort of eclipse in the sky. This cavalry force that you guys had placed outside the city cuts through the gap between the first and second wave and comes around and just decimates this group of skeletons. These are just basic skeletons with longbows and things like that. And against a fully mounted cavalry unit, they stand no chance. The cavalry turn a skeleton into just a group of bones and dust. Some good planning on your part. And soon the area is done for. The spellcasters and warriors alike give a rousing cheer. As the second wave begins to haul in, all of your characters sort of get themselves ready. Reinforcements are sort of slowly brought in. This wave seems a bit less. Seems like Yara is bringing them in waves, and the second wave is, she sent a lot of her main night walkers and her main things, not just to you guys, but all across the wall. And it seems like most people have dealt with the problems pretty well. So you look across the battlefield ahead of you. You can see, ahead of you, because you're on that sort of V divot. If you looked ahead on the wall, you would see undead beginning to pile up against the wall, climbing and crumbling over one another, sort of like World War Z style, creating a mound of undead that rises up and begins to spill over the wall. But just as the undead reach the top of the wall, however, there is a sort of rippling, a murmuration in the air, and a bright flash of light. And with this light, most, if not all, of the undead are just knocked off the back of the wall, separating into dismembered humanoid pieces of flesh and bone. And stood where that light originated is a woman, clearly a wizard, with a long straight staff, blue robes, and a tattoo of an eye just over her head. It appears Moraine has indeed joined the battle in one of the more dire parts of the place and is aiding quite well. Upon her command, a group of spellcasters moves across the wall and begins fighting elsewhere. As you look to your left, you can see the secondary northern gate that Councilman Ivan holds. You can see Ivan dressed in his full dwarven steel plate armor, hacking and slashing with his battle axe with unrelenting rage, cutting the undead limb from limb. He's joined by a troop of dwarven warriors who wear similar garbs, and together they hold off against the impeding force of zombies as they spill out of the siege tower. And in a moment of cunning, Ivan pulls back his battle axe and throws it towards the siege tower's wheel, a weak wheel at the back, similar to how your ballista did. The blade cuts through the wood, and as it strikes, it creates a small implosion of fire that burns at the foundation of the structure. Soon the siege tower begins to lean to one side. As the undead inside of it are now thrown off balance, the whole thing goes from leaning to falling with a great crash. It crushes a legion of skeletons below. You hear a great cheer from the soldiers as they ready themselves for the next wave. Behind you, guards approach. Special delivery, they will call out. And as you turn, you see two guards unloading a carriage with barrels within. One of the barrels is loaded onto the trebuchet and is flung towards a nattering shamble of ghouls led by a large undead creature that looks like a sort of horned troll. As the barrel strikes, the group explodes in radiant flames, and like napalm, it burns across the battlefield, burns the horned troll, burns the ghouls, burns everything. And it sticks to them. The fire is unrelenting, and it burns until they are all but depleted. Many trebuchets, in fact, begin to load up with these things. It seems like the cathedrals and places around have just finished crafting these weapons of war, and now you can see, like, all around, several trebuchets that are set up around the walls, and this V-divot just fire almost like all at once, spilling this alchemical holy oil bomb into this V-divot, creating basically a holy oil bomb kill box. It is unrelenting. It is horrifying, but it is good. There are cheers from everyone around the place, and much merriment is had as you get a little bit of time just to breathe, to take stock, help people out. Doc, maybe you help a couple of soldiers out with just a couple of bits of medicine, pop a shoulder or two back into place. A couple of people sort of come to you guys for prayers to bless weapons or what have you. And it seems like all is going well until there is a spark in the air.
Was that enough time to take dice to heal up, or was it not that long?
It wasn't necessarily like an hour long. It was more like I don't know, maybe like 10-20 minutes. But one thing I will say, and it's a rule that I quite like, I got from the Critical Role campaign guide, is that in times of great stress, so times like this, I will allow you to take a short rest in the span of 10 to 20 minutes, but that will be in return for a point of exhaustion.
What, later down the line, or?
No, if you wanted to do that now, you could do that now as well. So you could take a short rest, recover hit dice, recover anything you want, but you would gain a point of exhaustion. But this would be 10 to 20 minutes, so Doc, if anyone wanted to heal, if anyone wanted to use any spells to heal or do anything like that, do any preparative things, you obviously can do. If there's anything anyone would like to do during this time, like 10 to 20 minutes.
I'm gonna, if I can find it, I'm gonna use my healing hands, my Aasimar healing hands, to just give myself what's our level? 14?
Yeah, 14.
I'll just give myself 14 hit points back.
Okay, cool.
And I'm looking pretty good, actually.
Okay. So as you are all sort of stood there cheering, getting your things ready for the next wave, a couple of smaller groups of undead try and sort of like crawl and creep across the battlefield under the cover of the darkness, but they are dealt with fairly easily. Maybe one just about gets to the wall, but again, dealt with fairly simply. These are small scouting parties. There is this spark, there is this flash in the middle of the sky, maybe if I was to bring you back to the sort of capital map, this would be, if you guys are like here, this would be out just beyond the bridge in the sort of central area here. There's this flash, this spark of sort of greenish light. And there appears, way off in the distance, a figure. It's a few hundred feet from you. The figure is tall, gaunt, wears a very, very slim, long gown that drapes past her feet. She almost looks like a wraith or a sort of banshee or a ghost, like floating in the night sky. But she is corporeal. Her dress is pure black, which contrasts very, very highly with her very, very pale skin, a veil over her head, and her hand glows, her left hand glows sort of greenish. You recognize this figure. You saw this figure not but last night. You see the jagged black iron crown over her head as Yara enters the fray. She sort of looks about the area, watching her undead get killed. A stray arrow flies towards her, but she just knocks it out the way. I will take this place one way or another. You've made quite a good start, I will admit. Gentlemen. And her eyes almost turn, and even though she's a couple of 100 feet away, you can tell she is looking directly at you. And the rest of you. I must commend you. I've never seen in all my time a force so hopeful they will see a brighter tomorrow. But as long as I am here, there will be no tomorrow. There will be nothing but my rule and the one God, our one dragon queen. And I can't fail her. So I must go to extreme measures. She raises a hand, and as she does, a book materializes out of thin air before her. The book is huge. One of these like really old, ancient encyclopedias, bound in black leather with a sort of rusting iron surround. And as she sort of raises her hand, the book appears, and then it just opens slowly. But then as soon as it's open, suddenly just flips through the book, all the way to the back. And right at the back, a page opens up. And from that page, there's a light, and then another, and then another, and then another. These 4 small globules of light that rise from the book and begin to slowly spin above the page, just slowly, before suddenly the small balls of light just ignite in flame and fly up above the clouds. I've learned in my time, I guess, being queen is like playing a game. There are moves, and there are counter moves, I guess. I obviously moved on your city. You countered rather well, dealing with the problems I set before you, with Lord Lazarus. I worked with the beings beneath the city, the Black Talons, and you killed them as well. I attack your city, and you have defended it quite well, so I guess I must now make my next move, shouldn't I? Way high in the clouds, through the inky black clouds of the Shadowfell that have seeped into your world, a white light slowly begins to rise. This has been fun, but I would quite like this over and done with sooner rather than later. I'm on a little bit of a schedule. So, here is my move. I look forward to seeing yours. And from the sky, 4 meteors wreathed in white flame pour down from the sky and fly towards the city. The first meteor flies into the castle. Now, the castle is made up of a main building with a tall tower and a shorter tower. She hits the base of the tall tower, striking into the tall tower, and it collapses onto the main building. That tall tower was where you had your council meetings, where Councilwoman Dewforge is possibly holding up, and where many of the other council and big sort of city things are done, and it falls right onto the throne room, the place you were not the night before for the ball. It is destroyed. The second meteor flies down and strikes the Wizard's College. Now, the Wizard's College has been warded to be resistant to certain damages. However, even this meteor swarm still does do a great amount of damage. It collapses the roof, collapses one of the sides of the walls, and because of the arcane nature of many things within, there is a small fire that breaks out within the Wizard's College. There probably were some casualties, but it's not as bad as it could have been. Galahad, as the third meteor flies down, you can tell she's staring directly at you, and the widest smile a person can ever produce is on this one as it flies down and strikes the Cathedral of Pelor. Now, the Cathedral of Pelor is a main cathedral with one tall tower, and as it strikes the base of that tower, again collapsing the tower on top. Archpriest Solan, Priest Tyrion of Apollo, and many of the other refugees and people who have helped, who are staying there, who are creating holy oil for the soldiers. That place you also know was a place where soldiers were coming to be healed. Gone. Crumbled into dust. And finally, the last meteor flies down, and not at you. Why not at you? But towards the secondary gate to your left. You look over, you do take a brief look, for anyone with a decent enough passive perception. And there is this really small figure, just way over there, a dwarven figure, who looks up at this madness. He takes off his helmet, places his axe on the ground, looks up at the meteor, drops to his knees, and in a rageful scream embraces the meteor as it strikes the city gates and explodes. Now, the main wall is pretty thick, but the city gates, not that much, not in this area. As it explodes, the entire wall in that section comes down and crumbles to dust. And then really weirdly, all the undead, every zombie, everything turns its head, snaps its head, and looks towards that opening. That one opening. Now, Yara, still smiling towards you, looks to you again and says, "I await your move." And with the hand of Vecna on her neck, just clicks her fingers, disappears, and a green flash reappears out in the battlefield And as she does, you can see it's an area which has a sort of central stone, central pillar. Must be some area of importance, I guess. Though from here, you're not sure what. None of you are from the capital, and Galahad, it's nothing that's been made was in your time. And as she appears here, there are a couple of trees dotted around, and these trees almost form like a barrier for the undead as they begin just moving like a river around a rock around this area, as if she's opened up an arena for you to meet her in the field of battle. Davyak just stands. He was holding his bow, but he just drops it. Fuck. Okay. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Goes to his earpiece. The earrings that you were given by Councilman Ivan. Giri, Nevado, please, fucking please tell me you can hear me. Please tell me you're still alive. All of you will hear from the other side the call of Giri Nevado, still alive.
Ah, hello, Davia. Yes, very ready to do nasty things.
Get to the fucking breach now. Do you hear me? Get to it now. Now!
Okay.
He looks back towards the rest of you guardians. He says, "You need to go. You need to. There's a breach now. There's nothing we can do. Fuck, they're gonna kill us all. They kill them all. You need to kill her now. You need to deal with this now. If I'm alive, if I live over there, I'll come and help you. If you're still fighting by the time, then I'll do what I can. I'll come help. But you guys deal with her. Me, the Drangers have got this. Don't worry. Good luck." And Davyak just turns, runs off the back of the wall, and leaps off the back of the wall. And it's at that moment you just hear this caw as this Griffin swoops down, catches him mid-flight, and Davyak flies towards
Damn, Griffin's been hiding some powers.
the breach.
So he can do that.
So, Guardians.
Oh, I'm just going to my spells for Griffin. Have we had I'm missing a few. I swear we had a long rest.
You had a long rest. I'd be surprised if you used any now.
We were full at the start of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's very possible I just didn't reset them after.
Fair enough.
Very good.
So, Guardians.
I'm busting for a toilet break.
Yeah. All right. Actually, yeah. No, sorry, I didn't see the time.
I mean,
Yeah.
that feels like a very good,
a
poignant break moment.
Yes. Have a piss. Have a think about what you like to do, and I'll see you back here in 5. back into the story. Yara has now basically destroyed the Wizard's College, or at least destroyed one of the walls and set it on fire. Destroyed the Cathedral of Pelor. Destroyed the castle, which, by the way, many people are, like most of the civilians of Ambyr, are hiding underneath.
Oh God,
one big thing I forgot to mention. And destroyed one section of the wall, which is now being dealt with by Daviak, Giri, and Nevedo.
What you're saying is the Westerland Arms is all right.
Meteor swords can't go that far.
Everyone's favourite.
Yeah. Everyone's favourite tavern. So, Guardians. Yara has basically... What I want to know from you guys just right now is... What's the plan?
Okay,
All this has happened. Daviak has gone. Breach the plug. To breach the plug. To plug the breach. What's your plan?
If he wants us to go kill Yara, we could have really done with his Griffin.
Yeah, but it's Daviak's Griffin. He's cool.
Oh, it was Daviak's nice sword. Giri took it off him.
That's a good point.
And take the only other thing he has left is Griffin.
What? Once a bitch, always a bitch, am I right? I'll probably just give it to you if you ask. Right, no, serious, sorry, we're in the mortal danger.
Mortal danger. So Yara, for reference, is about sort of 800 feet out into the battle.
And there's a swarm of undead in front of her.
And there are, yes, an army of undead between you and her.
Ah, nah. So, tap out. Let's catch a boat.
Anyone have any ideas on how?
I can polymorph into a flying creature and carry maybe 2 people, but it's a 4th spell.
I would say with heavy armor, yeah, you could carry like Balzanor and someone, but everyone's got heavy armor.
That's how a conversation should
big
start.
Stuff, yeah.
You can carry
Balzanor can fly.
Yeah, but that wastes a spell.
I think we've got ways of getting over there. It's just trying to get over there in the least resourceful expending way possible.
Basically nothing.
Thank you, JJ. Luke, what have you got to bring to the table?
Okay, I have a hammer.
I have a pointy sword.
Yeah.
No, you have a what?
Pointy sword.
Oh, fuck's sake.
One thing I will remind you, you do have that necklace of prayer beads.
Could just windwalk.
Which has windwalk.
Anyone want to windwalk?
Yeah, absolutely. That fits our thing perfectly, doesn't it?
But what I will tell you from your attunement with the thing, and therefore knowing the parameters of windwalk, is that while in windwalk, you are resistant to damage, and it takes, though it only takes a bonus action to cast, it takes a minute to get out of. So you would get there, and for a minute, Yara would have free reign to fuck you up, and you would just be resistant to all damage.
Oh.
That's 10 rounds of her just going, fireball, 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 and yeah, you resist all damage.
We could windwalk and literally...
That's actually a really good plan for her to make her waste all her spells. So...
We're still taking damage, is the only thing.
You're still taking damage and dealing no damage back.
For 10 rounds.
And if you save against
taking
fireball,
damage,
it's half
right?
damage anyway.
Okay, misread that bit. My bad.
Well, that was a short-lived good idea.
Sorry.
I mean, there is just the classic charge, and just charge out there. You are in command of many forces here.
I mean, could we use, instead of using you as a flying thing, could we use Griffin as like a battering ram? So like, you know, if you were like a big rhino or something like that, would you be able to just barrel your way through?
I could certainly try my best, but problem is if we get swarmed with... I mean, is she just going to let us go there? Does she actually want to face us, or is that what it is? Is it a challenge?
She has arrived in this space and opened and basically made the undead open up into an area around her. Quite a large area.
But like, if we start walking there, are we going to get attacked by undead, or are they going to let us get there so that she can deal with us?
Sounds like
Sure.
she's making a ring and she wants us to go there.
Is there any way we could get a message to her saying we want to challenge her? Maybe
Not
throwing
800 feet away.
Maybe throwing an insult just to trigger her. Fight us, bitch.
Very scary.
Yeah. I'm just a bit stuck on ideas at the moment. The polymorph is the only thing I can think of. But I've lost the 4th level spell slot.
I mean, we could literally just try walking there.
Yeah, okay.
See what
If it
happens.
goes badly, we'll just turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So what are you like opening like the main gates to just try and walk there, or?
I think we'll hop
shit,
down
I've
the
got broom. I
outside
can
gate.
fly. I can fly on broom. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to fucking think that.
Well, good for you, but no one else does.
Yeah, no, but it takes out some of the flying issue if we were to fly.
Actually, theoretically, that would work. I would say the eagle, if you were to turn into a flying eagle, for example, you would still need to make a check, but then you could take Galahad and Balzanor.
Let's just do that.
And is one of you wearing that red armor that's super lightweight?
Is.
Gary is. Never mind then.
Okay. Are we agreed? I'll polymorph into a giant eagle and JJ can fly on broom. And then we don't have to worry about whether they would let us through or not. We can just fly over them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
So as the Guardians commence their plan, Griffin performs the incantations, and on the wall transforms into a giant eagle. Balzanor gets on his back. Galahad, you sort of get yourself situated beneath him so that you can be picked up via the talons. And Doc, you get on broom. We switch our plan. We change our view, as it were, as the camera pans over the wall where the undead are climbing and clambering over and marching through to this breach. To Davyak. Matt. Davyak. You're flying over the city, taking a few potshots here and there at some skeletons and zombies that have the nerve to climb over the wall upon your Griffin. And you head towards the breach. Can you see Davyak's stat sheet? I think you should be able to.
He
Just
shoots
wait for the
arrows.
screen.
Can you make me just a quick perception check as Davyak?
As Davyak,
As Davyak, yes.
not as Balzanor or any different sheet.
Indeed. The
I
whole...
was nearly going to be a -1 roll, which would have been shocking. Well, it's not much better. It's a +1.
17, though, pretty good. So as you're flying around, you take a pretty good look, and it seems like they are, once again, separating this into sort of like waves. As you look around, you can see one wave has already pushed through, and with the minimal defense, because this place has just been hit by a fucking meteor, this wave pushes through and is already into the city. The next wave is coming through, and it looks like they are sort of skeletal warriors, and they're just marching through. And behind them are sort of shambles of monsters. It's kind of hard to see with the sort of cloud of dust that was billowed and created from the destruction. But you can see large monsters of all different shapes and sizes, and they will definitely be sort of in waves. Looking back at the Guardians, by now the Guardians are already in the air and flying over. So you can expect that by the time you get there, you'll just have to hold on for just a little bit until they can defeat Yara, and hopefully, when Yara is defeated, the undead will stop. The undead will die or become re-dead, and hopefully you won't have too much of a problem. You swoop down and land on a building just sort of by the breach and ready yourself for an attack. And you can hear some footsteps running down the street. Giri, you are a troop of 13, you and your 12 blades. However, you sort of almost like cross paths with the undead swarm, the first wave of the breach going through, and you are caught up in that combat for a little bit. But your men basically tell you, go, we can take it from here. You take 3 of your finest warriors with you, and you head towards the breach. On your way, however, you are intercepted by a group of sort of like 3 undead, sort of like undead skeletons in full plate armor that sort of step out in front of you. They stand there, spears at the ready, and their spears almost begin to ignite with like an unholy sort of flame, as they seem to be like undead paladins of a sort, and they charge towards you. Before a large figure comes down and basically sweeps them all away, killing them. You look up, and you just see the huge stone form of Orson Magic Ball.
Aye.
As he's clattered these things away, he sort of shakes his head. Giri! Hello, Giri. I killed them.
I saw.
No, they were
Good
already
job.
dead.
Yes.
They were already. Wait, but they're skeletons. But your skeleton's on the inside, Giri.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Orson. Good job. Give him a pat on the belly. Let's go.
Oh, I couldn't feel that, but that was nice. All right. Yeah. Where are we going? I just got told. And you can see now, Orson has basically. People have basically taken shields and strapped them to his shoulders, like sort of like pauldrons. And I mean that's basically the only difference. But you can also see people have like taken like paint. You don't know who exactly, but someone's also taken like parts of like red paint and things and splat them over on like white paint and stuff like that. Made him look a little bit more fearsome. He's like, oh, I look different, Yuri. Some kids came and they did this.
Mighty Orson.
Mighty. Ooh. Mighty
Orson Magic Ball.
Magic Ball. I like it. Does everyone have this many names, Giri? Because you're just Giri. And hold on, where's Cowman? Where's Catman?
We don't talk about
Oh, shit.
It's Nevada.
We'll talk about it. Nevada might be here, but we'll talk about the other 2 later. Balzanor's here, actually.
Okay.
He's off to do some important stuff. I mean, we're doing important stuff as well.
Oh, all right. Oh, there's Nevado. And he points up, and you can see, Nevado, you are on the back of another druid, as it's turned into a giant eagle, and it is flying through the air. You've become quite respected in the druidic community, and you've had quite a long couple of days journeying into the Feywild, basically being an ambassador for your people. Fucking. But you are here now in the siege. And yeah, so you've become quite respected in the druidic community and have made a few allies. One of these allies has turned into a giant eagle, saving you of some spell slots, and is currently flying over the city to get you towards this area. However, as you're flying through the air, an undead sort of manticore flies towards you. It is basically skeletal, this skeletal sort of humanoid skull, lion sort of lion skeleton, and these like needles all around its basically as its mane, these bone needles all around its mane, down its neck and across its tail, and it flicks a bunch towards you. The bird, or your druid friend, turns, and as it turns, it blocks you from the impact, but just takes a bunch of hits, and you fall from the sky. It bundles up its wings to protect you, and it crashes and lands on the floor. You take no damage thanks to your friend's intrusion, but as you sort of lie there on the ground, that your friend slowly turns back into a person still with these needles in their chest. Take a few moments, say a few words, get up. And there is Giri, funnily enough. You were just down the road from the breach in the wall. Orson turns around. Hello, Giri. Oh, are you okay? You had a bit of a fall. Your bird kind of fell. That's not good. Hello. Long time no see. It's not really been a long time. I've been in a stable.
That's such typical Nevado plays. Big promise, fucking shit delivery. Sorry, Nevado. Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. I've got shields and paint. Everything's kind of going.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You sound different from the last time we spoke. You often sound different, Nevado. It's very confusing. I like it, though. Keeps me on my... Looks down to his feet. Stumps? Rocks? I'm going to say rocks.
Keeps me on my rocks.
You have some pretty big rocks.
Oh, thank you. Well, not thank you. It's confusing being a golem. Anyway, should we go? And you guys stumble down the street. As you stumble down the street, Daviak, well, you can now see Daviak way up on the building just in front of the breach. Coming out from the breach are a sort of number of skeletons, almost in a sort of phalanx position. They have shields, like large shields, and they're in these like tight sort of squares, think like Roman squares, and they wear very almost Roman-esque armor. Giri, you being a soldier who has done maybe a little bit of history, and you're from Titan as well, you would know that these individuals, these undead, are from a mercenary army years and years and years ago. You maybe don't know too much about them, not much is known about them, but they were a bit like, imagine the sort of Mongols. They're a traveling army, basically, that traveled around and solved problems and things like that. But they sadly died out because they got a bit too big for their britches. But you can now see them in undead form, marching through the breach towards you. You stand and prepare to get yourselves ready. Suddenly you can hear the clopping of hoofprints nearby. You look to your left, look to your right. More undead coming to flank you, maybe. You unsheath your blades, get yourselves ready, when you just hear this roaring, this rageful roaring of an individual who, when they appear out into the area, is covered in like goblinoid skeletons. They pull one from them, basically lean down to the ground, and as they sort of run forwards, they basically grind its head across the floor and it clatters into a million pieces. The next one they just pick up and fling off onto the ground and again just clatters away. And the final one, they basically swing their axe way back at their back, impaling it, and then fling it forwards, flying off through the window of some guy's house into the house.
You say you're covered in goblin skeletons?
Yes.
All right. Beats?
And there before you stands... Well, Jojo, would you like to describe Chiron for us?
Yes, so Chiron is a massive fucking centaur barbarian. They have this like one pauldron on the shoulder that's like, you know, this like large leathery pauldron that's covered in like bare like etchings and stuff like that. There's like a bit of like fur sort of like across the pauldron back. And yeah, they're like pale skinned but covered in blue war paint as well. Yeah, and just has this like massively long axe in two hands.
I know you meant like bear as in the animal, but I just heard it as covered in bear pauldrons blood.
Yeah, I've got pauldrons on my pauldrons.
What was his name again, sorry?
Chiron.
Chiron. But yeah, standing before you is a fucking centaur. Nevado, you are aware of some of the aid that the Feywild brought, but I mean, you didn't meet everyone that came to help. But you can make assumptions that this is possibly one of the people to aid. How would you all react to this individual appearing?
He looks, I just supposed to fit in a video. He looks like a bit of a fucking psychopath.
That's what we need.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain. Time and a place, but he'll do for now. I'll hail him over. Yeah, big man. How tall is the centaur?
Probably like 7-8 feet, probably.
Yeah, you're like 8 feet
big
tall.
Don't fancy holding this location with us, do you?
Just like try to
That's
raise the action
why I'm
response
here.
and just let out like a big like scream and just like start charging in.
I like his enthusiasm.
I fucking love it. And with that, gentlemen, wait, let me just check, because I did some editing of this to make sure there's nothing on here that shouldn't be on here. Awesome. And with that, so I bring you onto the map. So, as you can see, you are all down in the sort of bottom right. Orson is with you. Nevedo, you have your blades, Giri, so obviously Azura is the one with the blue outline, Forest is the one with the green one, and Scarlet is the one with the red one. Daviak, you are on the rooftop. I will give you access to the Griffin now. You have a Griffin. If you want the Griffin, basically right now you have the speed of a Griffin, which is like a fly speed of something feet. A fly speed of 80 feet. So if you want the Griffin to go anywhere, you can make it go there. So you right now have a speed of 80 feet. If you want the Griffin to attack, you can use a bonus action to basically tell the Griffin to attack or do stuff. Otherwise, on its turn, which is directly after you, it's just going to take the dodge action. And I believe...
Sorry, but which one was which out of Scarlet and Azura?
Scarlet is the red one.
That makes
Scarlet
sense.
red.
Yes.
And Azura is blue. Azure blue.
Yeah.
And I've realized that none of these people can be controlled by anyone. I don't think. So let me just update
Is Luke
that.
controlling Orson?
Anyone can control Orson. I'm going to set it to anyone. But I would say that, yes, as JJ is handling a new character, and Sam's got 3 people, and Matt's got a new character as well, I said, Luke, if you wouldn't mind controlling Orson, and if you need a hand, I will help you out in that scenario.
We can all see Orson's
But yes.
sheet though, can't we? So.
Yeah. You can all see Orson's sheet,
So,
and I've set it so that anyone can move in,
For
so.
Luke, anyway, what's another character on his 7 million wasps?
Yeah, or you like Luke, if you start summoning stuff, I mean, yeah, I'm basically just gonna say anyone can control Orson. If none of you guys want to do it, I'll do it, but
Cool.
anyone can control him.
He's got a very basic bunch of commands.
He does.
I'll pull that up and
So-
start having a look at it in case Luke gets overwhelmed by 6 million bears.
Awesome. And on that note, we'll
Awesome.
roll a little bit of initiative. As wave 1 of the siege is underhand, you will have 3 waves of undead to deal with. So I'll roll. Oh, that's a bad roll.
I hope this second is indicative of how I'm going to be rolling.
Things to come.
So,
Well, my geezers just go after me, Ben. Is that easiest?
yep. Your guys are just going to go directly after you.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine. And they can go in whatever order you want them to. I don't really care.
You're going to regret that.
Maybe. Is that everyone's initiative rolled?
Yeah.
So let's get. So first up is Nevedo. That's writing in black on black. That's not good. So Nevedo's up first. Then we have Giri. Then Daviak. Then Charon. Cool. So, also we're gonna do the initiative rules of you, then them, then you, then them, because there's lots of stuff going on. Makes sense. So, Nevedo, you're up first. What are you doing? Also roll for Orson. Orson rolled terribly.
He's just happy to be here.
He is. He really is.
How big is, I ask this all the time, how big's the 30-foot radius?
30-foot radius, that is massive. That will be
12 squares across.
Cool. I'm going to cast Maelstrom.
Well, the rest of us just sit here and watch.
All right.
Give us the chance to get to know this new guy. JJ, you thought he'd be rolling attacks, he'd be rolling performance and persuasion.
You thought this was a combat encounter. Not when the druid's on the case.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go there, and yeah, like on that spot, I think.
On that spot, 30-foot radius. Who gives a fuck about these houses? As you just summon, like, how does this maelstrom? Well, what does maelstrom do first?
It's effectively a giant whirlpool that makes it difficult terrain. And
is that the one we saw against those orcs at the start of the previous arc?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I know what you're talking about. So, how do you see this maelstrom sort of forming in the area?
Just starts as a little drop and then kind of explodes out into this giant whirlpool.
Yeah, I like that. Sort of like
by giant,
sort of like wet earth.
Deep whirlpool.
Yeah, from the sort of wet earth, it then just sort of forms into this giant whirlpool. Like stone from the buildings around is pulled into it. Stone from the debris of everything around, and this maelstrom of this like at first clear water just begins to like murk and fill with like stones and boulders and rubble and all sorts of stuff. So, upon in the ground until the spell ends, the area is difficult terrain. Any creature starts to turn them and succeed in a strength saving throw takes 66 bludgeoning damage and be pulled 10 feet towards the center. All right, so they're all pretty fucking close to the center already. Nice. So, yeah. Any bonus actions? Anything like that?
Nah, no bonus actions right now.
Alrighty. Red needs to make a strength saving throw at the beginning of his turn. So he rolls a 10 plus 3, 13.
17 is the save.
Sweet. So he rolls 66
Love to.
and is pulled 10 feet towards the center. So he's pulled there. I guess he would be like right in the center then, wouldn't he? So, and he also takes 20 damage. Yeah, you watch as this phalanx of undead warriors just sort of like it's immediately pulled into this thing. Like a bunch of bolts are just knocked into them, and then they're knocked off their feet and just brought into the center of this whirlpool. And many of them just sort of like their heads just start dropping underneath the water, completely gone. Nicely done. Next up would be Giri. Giri and the Blades.
Right, yeah, well, I ain't going anywhere near that steaming pile of shit that... It's been a while. What can Giri do?
I mean, she's a fighter, so...
Yes, range was not in the equation.
Hey.
I'll just go 5, 10, 20. I'll come up round this way.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I'll point at the one on the roof and I'll say, I'll just shout at my other guy, Forrest, to hit that one, you knob. Gary's commander's been really good to Gary. I'm sorry, I'm in a Griffin mindset. I've got to get out of this. I've got to be a respectable human being. Hit that one, my friend.
You are a samurai.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't remember Giri being very respectful to those fucking like yetis or whatever they were in that cave.
What happens in the cave stays in the cave.
I wasn't very respectful to Oramus, but you know.
Well, that too.
That technically didn't happen. You can't prove it.
Anyway, so you're moving over there. Forrest is going to be taking shots.
He's going to shoot at the orange one.
All right. They do have multi-attack, so they can obviously shoot twice. We'll have a little bit of cover just from the angle, but a 26 will definitely hit.
And then 22.
And a 22. Consistent damage as well. They were trained well. Nice as these two arrows like thunk thunk into the armor of these individuals. They stumble a little bit, but manage to recompose themselves.
I can't move any of them, by the way.
You can't move any of them. That's because I don't want you to. That's the challenge here, Sam. You've raised... No, I'm not going to say that. There you go. You should be able to move now.
I will order... Scarlet will come with me, and I'll order Azura to look after the weedy druid boy.
Nice.
That's me.
I just realised that it says they're pulled to the centre, 10 feet towards the centre, but that's just at the start of their turn. So these things can actually move. So I will just say that this thing moved like
It is difficult
5,
to rein
10, 15. Yeah, that's as far as they can move there. So that's what they'll do. Cool. Next up, we have blue up there. So blue needs to roll 8. Fantastic. So pulled towards the center, but that actually works for them. So then they're going to go 5, 10, 15. Apologies. Then they're going to dash 20, 25, 30. 19 damage on them. Yeah. As this maelstrom knocks a bunch of them back and into the center, and they both like sort of like Terminator at the end of Terminator 2, just sort of disappear into the maelstrom. Just cool, nice. That's them. Daviak, what you doing? Brother or the main character? Or a main character?
Definitely the main character.
A main character.
The main character. Stop.
You have to hit stuff with arrows to be considered the main character, don't you?
Actually, to be fair, he was pretty good last time I played him. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
And my family's honour, even in the face of
Disrespect my brother.
Can we just acknowledge that the last time we played him was the arc where it was all here?
No. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You played Balzanor last.
Yeah, it's been
and
a
then
long time.
Balzanor again. It has been a while.
Wow. Right, I think I might just put a spike growth trying to get red and blue.
All right.
It's been a while since I've used this, so it's just...
So they're going to be pulled through spikes. Sam, what
It's
do
gotta
you
be
think about this
double.
heading up?
Don't know. Like I said, to get to know each other, I think.
Yeah.
Listen, we need a C team, so
I can't draw it in, so...
That's fine. 20-foot radius. So
Can I get both? Is that 20 foot?
Yeah,
all three,
yeah,
sorry?
yeah,
Can I get
yeah,
all three?
20-foot radius. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. This is the thing that ruined the fight against those orcs.
Let's put it up
Way
one
back
so it's
when.
closer to the center of the circle.
So what? There.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
That can get all three of them. Awesome. Alrighty then. Yeah, Daviak just summons spike growth from way up there. Any movement? Anything at all?
No, I mean with my bow, I like to stay up there. To be fair.
Coolio. If you look at the Griffin, I'm just going to put in its hit points just on the token itself. So how many hit points does it have? 59. That's 59 hit points, just in case the Griffin gets hit by a stray something. Cool.
I can't select Daviak, by the way.
You can't select Daviak.
No.
Well,
That's
you
why
weren't
he
a very
didn't
good
move.
big brother.
That's why I'm not moving.
Cool.
Yeah,
There you go.
Daviak is stoic. He stands his
Cheers.
ground.
I landed on this building, and by God, I will hold it. Also,
I don't care if the fight's gone over there. I was firing my arrows to stay in the game.
Do not worry, everyone. The city
all right,
may be
guys, I
gone,
have this
but
building
building
secure.
is safe. The castle's destroyed, cathedral's destroyed, everything's destroyed, but this building, prime condition. Awesome. Nice. Then we move on to green, who needs to make a save. That's a 15, but still no. So pulled. Fucking hell, these fucking rolls, man. There. And they go. So that's roll 4d4.
44.
Yeah. Davyak roll 4d4.
Ah. Anytime, Matt.
Oh, sorry. 44.
44.
Oh, nice.
11. And now it's difficult terrain. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is going to try and move sort of, I'll say up here. So that's 6 squares. So roll 12d4.
Right, we'll do 1, 2, and 2.
Cool. So what's that? That's 10, 20, 24.
What a lovely way of doing it.
Or 4, sorry. 4. Yeah, it's easier.
40. Yeah, these things are pushing against a maelstrom, and every step their feet are being clawed by invisible spikes. If that's not fucking metal, I don't know what is. Cool. Then we go to Chiron. Chiron,
Alright.
what are you up to, buddy?
So these ones are the closest ones to getting out. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet to here. And I've got reach. So
This motherfucker's got reach.
I will...
Do you carry a lance?
No, I've got a really, really long axe. Am I already raging or...
I will say no. You can choose whether you're raging or not.
Okay, well, bonus action rage then, and then I'm just gonna take. How many attacks have I got?
I would assume 2.
I believe you are incorrect, and it is 3. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
make 3 reckless attacks against this group.
All right, with advantage.
Yeah, with advantage. So first one. It's a 30 to hit.
Yeah, 30 hits.
Okay. So let's do 9 damage. Second one,
9 damage. So,
20 to hit.
20 hits, yep.
10 damage. And third one, 22 to hit.
22 hits.
15 damage. And I'm going to expend a psionic energy dice, which deals... to do a psionic strike, which deals an extra 4 damage, and can they make a DC 14 strength save?
Never let a fellow DM just make a one-off character for combat, because things just get terrifying. They rolled a natural 20.
Then nothing happens.
Cool. But they do take that 4 extra damage. Fantastic. All right.
I need to use a bit more movement to step back, because why not? I've got it.
Cool.
Got it to spare.
Next up would be these archers. Now, this archer on the right is going to take 2 pot shots at Davyak. That's misses. And that's a 15 to hit Davyak. I think that misses, but might be wrong.
Misses. Misses.
Misses. This next one is going to move slightly just over here, and it's going to gosh, shoot. Well, Yara's seeing through their eyes. They have a little bit of thing, but then Yara's also doing that. So I would say I'm going to shoot Chiron, because Chiron's been swinging a big old axe and screaming in rage. The first one misses terribly. Second one misses terribly. I rolled a 3. I rolled an 11. I rolled a 3 and a 5. These dice hate me. I am changing dice. Fuck you. You lost your time in the limelight. There we go. But yeah, those attacks miss. These skeletons are useless. Now, Orson. What's Orson up to?
Is there any limit on his magic eyes?
On his magic eyes. You know what? I haven't actually looked at the stat block for Orson in so long.
Do you mean his magic beam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says twice per day.
Yeah.
Oh, twice a day. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see a limit on this amazing ability. I'll just spam it.
Yeah, it says the bottom. Orson can use this ability twice per day. So there you go.
What's his movement? I just had his character sheet up.
His movement is 30 feet.
Okay.
I just fancy he's both vulnerable and resistant to bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's weird.
Can he reach this guy up here? He's got a 10-foot reach with this slam.
No, that is pretty high. So that's like the second or third. That'd be like on top of the second or third floor. So that'd be like 20 odd feet up. Probably more like 30 feet up. I mean, he could certainly try and collapse the building, but no, he can't reach it with a slam attack. No.
Can he try and smash the building?
He can. So just roll me a strength check for Orson. Just straight strength.
I'd love to.
Kablam.
Oh
No, Orson just starts sort of like pounding at the building, like get down from there. But it just like he like his first fist just goes through like a window, you know, and he's like, oh, sorry. And then his next fist goes next to the window, and it's not quite as impactful as he was hoping. But yeah, there we go. That's everything on. That's Orson's action. Anything else? Any more movement? Any things?
Neat.
Neat. Alrighty, we go back to the beginning of combat with Nevada.
Oh, well.
Oh, do you want to stick a little clock on yourself as you are concentrating on Maelstrom?
Oh, I'll do the same.
It's concentration. I have too many concentration spells.
Druids do get a lot of concentration spells.
It's the same with clerics. It's healing or it's concentration spells, it feels like.
Yeah. Wisdom. You need to concentrate.
I'm just gonna keep focusing real hard on this maelstrom.
You don't have anything that you can just throw out.
You have cantrips. Cantrips don't cost a thing.
All right, fine. I'll chuck a produce flame.
Mm-hmm.
How far can I throw? 30 feet.
You're a weedy boy, to be fair.
Any chance I can hit this boy up here? If not, I'm hitting.
5, 10, 15, 20. No, you wouldn't be able to hit that guy up there, but you can hit the people right in front of you. Yeah, sure.
Hey, blue.
The guys in the maelstrom. 10, nat 1. So your produced flame like flies out, but then a wave of the maelstrom just like splashes it away and dissipates it even before it gets to them. Outdone by your own concentration. Anything else, or are you good?
I'm good.
Cool. Red needs to make a strength save. Red gets a 19 plus stuff, so they're fine. And red is going to move 5. I'll say like so 5, 10, 15 there, and that's its movement. And then it's going to dash 5, 10. So it's out of everything. Can you roll me, what was that? 6d4 Daviak for the dem spikes.
How many, sorry?
6d4.
And again, we're doing it the funny way.
5 and 1.
Sure. Fucking sure. Why not? So, 11 points of damage. And now that they are out, they've used their dash, so they can't do anything. And they're just going to stand there as this swarm of like undead that's, a lot of their rear flank was taken out by the spikes and stuff, but they've sort of reformed from the ones in the middle. And they're this 10 by 10 foot, basically just like thing of shields in the front, all sides, above as well. Yeah, they're a pretty tanky unit. But that's all they got. So, Geary.
Fine Spirit.
Fine Spirit.
And 3 melee hits. 3 melee hits.
Melee. My brother calls it melee.
Melee.
Or he used to call it melee. Because he was a simple child.
Oh, that's advantage.
Oh, yes, you do get advantage. Oh, but that still misses.
Oh.
And on a miss, they can use their reaction to attack you. So as you strike, they knock away your blade, and out from that area, a spear comes out to try and attack you. So that is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Cool. And with that comes, I say one spear, like a bunch of spears basically come out in this point, as it is a swarm of enemies basically. So that is 10, 30, 16 points of piercing damage.
Cool. And in my anger, I will strike again. Sure.
Yeah, 24 hits. Using this opening now, just slashing on inside.
17.
17 points of damage.
And I'll go again. 20. These are shite rolls.
20, yeah, that hits.
He says with his +3 greatsword.
Yeah,
looking down, firing arrows mournfully at the greatsword.
Well, it was a longsword before, and now it's a greatsword. But yes, Devik's just looking down at that like, don't break it! Or something.
I'll move there. Sorry, I'm just need to work out how many bonus points I get for doing Fine Spirit. I think it's 10. Because I can take that off the damage I just took. I'll work that out.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is 10.
Yeah, I'll double check after.
Your 11th level.
I'll have to double check because it does go up to 15. I just can't remember when. Right, I'll move on one
Okay.
people in. Right, so Scarlet's going to come in and hit with Naginata. 26. 7
Naginata.
piercing damage.
Yeah, 7 piercing damage. Nice.
8, unfortunately, does not hit.
An 8 does not hit. No.
It's
Forest
15 at 15th level.
Forest will go for 2 hits on the same guy I did before. 16 and a 10. That's not good.
16 just hits. That guy. So that's 4 piercing damage. Not great, but there we go.
And 5, 10. Azura will go up there and go for a couple of katana strikes. 20 and 19.
Yeah, 20 and 19. The 19 hits. That's rolling damage without adding the strength. I'll fix that right now. Just to...
So I think that's all of the attacks, actually, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
So they should all have +3.
Yeah, 1d8 plus 3. Yeah, plus 3. I swear I added that. Oh no, I don't think I did because I assumed it was the same as like when you're doing it on an actual character sheet. Cool, that should be doing it right now. So I'll add like 6 more damage onto this one.
6 more damage onto Forest's shots as well.
Yeah.
And then 3 onto Scarlet's hit.
Yeah.
And then we'll forget about the one from the round before, that's alright.
Yeah, that's cool. Alright, cool.
That's everything.
Cool. Well, actually, with that extra 6 damage, we'll say this archer way on top just took a minute to realize that it had died, and does die. Then we're going to come to blue. So blue is going to just try and get out of the thing. So they need to roll that a 17 plus stuff to get out. So that's 5, 10. They're just going to move like there. But that's actually 20. So 25, 30. They're going to move a little bit away from it as well. Do you want to roll me 4d4, Matt?
How's he gonna roll it? Oh, all at once.
Just
Did they, did they pass the save, by the way? Ben?
They did 17 plus their strength, so they did all right. And then these guys are going to take. They get 3 attacks, and they're going to take them at Azura because she's the only one that's been hitting them. Actually, they're going to move around here, and they're going to go. No, they don't have that movement. They can't do that. Never mind. Good luck, Azura. 18. God, 25.
Yes, absolutely.
To hit. 14 to hit, and another 25 to hit.
Yep.
So 2 25s. So that is not great on damage. That's 12 damage for the first hit. And
Oh, sorry. Hang on a second. Did you just do 3 hits in one go? Is that what you did? I thought you read out damage. Okay, right. Sorry. So we're doing damage now.
so 12 damage for the first hit and 13 damage for the second hit.
Okay.
Then that's going to be them. They can't do much else.
Sorry. Did they miss the third hit? Or
Yeah. They missed one of the hits. It was a 14.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Deviak, you are concentrating on the spiky stuffs.
I am. Where's my sheet? Yeah, I'm just going to get the bow out.
What was that noise?
What was that?
I was stuck in my mouth. Sorry. I don't know if I can recreate that. That was
It sounds like
concentration.
someone else was in your room.
Yeah.
Can I get a shot at the people just below me?
Yes, you can. Easily
Cool.
enough.
Then the bow's
Have
coming
you
out.
gotten off your griffin?
Oh, am I still on him?
I mean, that's a question. Have you gotten off your griffin?
Will
or
it
are
make
you
a
on
difference on accuracy? Will I be more stable if I was off him?
them? No, it doesn't make a difference. It's
Cool,
just
then
if
I'm
you're
staying on
off,
top of him,
if you're off
'cause
your
that's
griffin,
cooler.
then your griffin acts completely separately to you. But if you're on them, then you get their speed and stuff.
Okay, I'll stay on him for now.
Okie dokie. But yeah, you can fire down.
Because I haven't really studied Daviak, how many shots do I have with a longbow?
2.
2. I will take 2 of the guy below me then.
Alrighty. 22 definitely hits. Yeah. So that's 4 damage. Yeah, it's not great. And 12 sadly misses. They can't use their reaction to hurt you because, well, you're up there. Anything else? Any bonus actions? Any movement? You can fly.
This is true. I can't move spike growth, can I?
No. Once it's in place, it's in place.
No. Yeah, why not? Let's have a bit of flight. How far can I move?
Come fly with me. Let's fly away.
How far can the Griffin fly?
80 feet.
80?
80.
Wow, okay. 5, 10, 15. I don't think it really makes a difference. I'm just going to go about there and then probably about 10 feet higher than I already am.
10 feet higher than you already are. So that puts you at, so you were at 20 feet. You're now 30 feet up and way over there. I love it. That actually puts you basically like on the wall. Like the Griffin's like the Griffin's butt is basically like on the edge of the wall.
All right, let's go here then.
Okay, sweet. Finally, it's green. Oh no, green needs to make their save. Now, 10. So they fail. So they're pulled 10 feet towards the center.
Ben is having fun.
66. Ben is having fun. Ben has been looking forward to this stuff. Oh, that's not a bad roll. 24 damage. This thing is on the cusp. On the absolute fucking.
How many spikes do I stab him with?
Yes, no, of course. So then roll. What was that they were there? So 44. 64. Sorry, 64.
5 and 1.
You make me sad. But
They didn't even
that
get out.
But that does kill it. So this thing is like dragged across the floor, and these skeletons just disappear underneath. And if you can see underneath, it's this horrifying image of just bones being raked across the floor of spikes, and they just start to like come apart and be ripped apart, almost like pulled.
The noise of that would be horrendous.
Yeah, almost like sort of like like when you're pulling pork for pulled pork. That's basically what's happening here.
It'll be muffled by the water. It's fine.
Yeah, as these things are just absolutely
It's
fucking
muffled by
wrecked.
Chiron's shouting. He's not stopped yet.
Centaur's massive lungs. He's
Man,
just
yeah. Man hasn't breathed unless he's breathing through his nose at the same time.
No, he's got his lungs and the horse's lungs inside there. So
Oh, yeah. What a phantom anatomy.
It's how you do the cyclical breathing.
and as he's breathing, just he just accidentally takes a shit as the horse.
It's not accidental. He just doesn't care.
He lives in the Feywild, where they do that shit just like anywhere except for a palace.
Hey,
so
I need
it's
something
fine.
to throw.
I love it. So yeah,
Oh.
that thing has just been absolutely wrecked.
I've just noticed this poor geezer here.
Yeah, there's some dead people all over. the place.
Yeah, there are dead
If
people.
he was
around.
even remotely alive, he isn't anymore.
Oh my god, yeah, his dead body's just been fucking. Oh no.
We're good people. It's a desperate time.
Respect the dead, they said. Oh wait, these are the Drengers of the North. They don't have the Guardian's fame. Cool. There we are. So that's whose go was that? That was that undead thing's go. So now Chiron.
Okay, I am going to circle around behind the Druid Man and take a strike from here. First attack. Recklessly, obviously. I am a barbarian.
Of course.
23 to hit.
23 definitely hits.
Okay. 15 damage, and let's throw a psionic dice in there as well. Strength saving throw, please.
Strength save. 15.
Passes. These things seem quite strong. Let's do it again. 30 to hit.
30 definitely hits.
16 slashing damage, and third attack, 19 to hit.
So you take the first sort of attack and you cut down one of the things, and then the second attack, like the last one in this group, just charges you, and it's just a quick flick of the wrist to just lop its head off. But then you decide, no, I'm raging, that's not enough. And you take your third attack anyway, just the pile of bones at your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Because fuck you, that's why. And this phalanx unit is depleted. There's the last unit left. And
Can
it's
I
not even
expend
there
one
again.
charge of my axe as well to allow Giri to make an attack with their reaction?
alrighty, Gary.
If
you want, you can use your reaction
inspired
to-
by this man's sheer the balls on this guy. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the,
as
the horse's
he-
balls. That's why. But
As this guy just slams down with like the last thing of his axe almost like lights up for a second, and there's this strange elven whisper that I don't know if you can speak Elven, but even if you can't, it just sort of whispers in your ear. It is just like whispers in your ear. It is time. Strike. and then you suddenly just feel emboldened to very, very quickly make a strike. So you can make a strike if you'd like.
Kill them all.
Unfortunately, I don't actually have advantage on this one, but
You do not.
let's bang it anyway. Hope for the best. Oh, I'm not rolling very well this evening.
18 just hits.
Whoa. 16 damage.
And with that, the final unit is depleted. As you just said, this long arcing strike through the sort of last of the phalanx, and they are depleted. As you all sort of stand taking a breath, the rest of these sort of undead units begin to sort of form in. Many sort of like smaller things, smaller skeletons and ghouls skittle in and run around the side. You can't deal with everything, but you've got to hold off things best they can. And actually, a lot of them would sort of come in and then get swallowed up by the maelstrom. One thing I'm going to say for this, so there is 30 seconds between each wave, basically. In that 30 seconds, you guys can reposition, you can cast spells on yourself, you can do whatever the hell you like. You can also, I'm going to say as a special thing, you can expend a single hit dice to regain some hit points just in that 30-second period of time. This is a siege, there is a lot of stuff going on, and it makes sense that you guys would take any amount of time you can to just take a breath and just, embolden yourself with some resolve. So anyone can just expend a hit dice if they would like to, freely, to just recover some hit points if they would like.
I'm guessing that's not available to the blades, but Azira's just used her second wind, so...
Okay. No, that's available to everybody, even the blades.
Okay.
So if you have taken damage, you can.
What
Otherwise,
would they roll for that hit dice?
They would roll same as you, D10.
D10, okay.
As this 30-second period sort of goes by, we did 3 rounds there, which is 18 seconds. So your maelstrom and the thing, actually seeing the maelstrom, things will probably back off for a little bit. So you actually have more like 45 to 50 seconds before anything comes in, and you can just see this like army of undead staring you down as you sort of stand there. But then eventually things reemerge. Undead begin to sort of push into the area, but they stop for a moment. And I just need to get something up really, really quick.
Can I just ride around picking up skeleton bones and just like trying to yeet them across the maelstrom at the ones on the other side, just in frustration?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
He's stomping your hoof as well.
Pardon?
He's stomping your hoof as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Yelling
cool.
most grievous insults in Fey languages.
Your mother raised a noob.
Yara raised a noob.
Yara raised a noob. Yara raised noobs.
Your mother raised a noob, and then it was re-raised as an even noobier noob by Yara.
Here, take this bone and turn it into a phone and call 911 because there's been an emergency.
Ben, I think you've muted yourself.
I apologize. There is a moment of you guys staring down undead as they wait for this maelstrom to pass. They wait for they can't see the spike growth, so the maelstrom passes, and then almost at the same time, everything else passes. And they then proceed to sort of step in, but then they stop for a moment, as you just say. And you begin to wonder what kind of ungodly thing has Yara got for us now. When suddenly,
Come on, give us a real challenge.
Something emerges from around the corner. You see its shadow before anything else, this long looming shadow. And then it's snout, a huge bloody thing that seems to actually be familiar to some of you, though you can't quite remember where you last saw it. Its hide is thick and almost scaled like a reptile. As it emerges, it has small sort of skeletal arms and few pieces of flesh sticking to its form. It has a large body, powerful legs, and a long tail. And as it emerges, you can see upon its back a knight in pure black iron armor just sort of releases like and then the creature emerges and this noise erupts. As an undead T-Rex rounds the corner and prepares to charge. And I think that's a good place to call the session there. Don't you?
Emotional damage.
Oh, I'm going to run. Just going to. That's the first thing I'm doing.
You are not too far from it.
Is it like biting distance? Like.
No, probably not actually.
T-Rex is about the chicken
Then I'm going to point and laugh.
That's fair. And
What is
these undead ghoulish creatures as well
that?
just
Can't wait to
emerge and
slap them.
scuttle over the rubble, preparing to strike.
Luke, how you feeling about a second maelstrom?
To be fair, this is
What
the
does
way.
the guy on the back look like? Just some sort of.
Yeah,
warlord.
he basically looks like imagine like a paladin, but underneath is a skeleton, but the bone has been basically charred black, and he has symbols and imagery over his body. You make a religion check for the fun of it.
Someone else?
Sure.
Never mind.
18, yeah. So you being one who's maybe studied a little bit about the religions of war and things like that, there is symbology of a god that is more well known in other parts of the world, a son of the god of war Mars, that is basically, people call it different things, but he's basically like a god of torture. Or it's like torture or no mercy or punishment. It's a whole different thing. In Titan is all about these smaller gods, the sons and daughters and children of the main pantheon that Ambyr is very well known for appreciating. And this, you may have heard small cults to him go by. This seems to be one of the undead paladins to this individual who has been raised by Yara. If you remember, each of these undead things, their eyes are almost like white flames sort of trickling out and up of their heads from them. And as they emerge, they hold this really long, mighty glaive that seems to sort of, instead of how, so you've seen some paladins, like Griffin and stuff, their blades like shine when they divine smite. But this guy, his blade just turns and almost Vanta black as he rounds the corner. And that is what we'll pick up next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Amazing.
Dun, 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 dun.